morning, or at least it's morning for us. I just mixed up a new batch of the homemade chicken feed / rabbit feed that I do for our animals here, and just thought I'd share it with you. I've got the recipe on my website, but this big can here, if you can feed this dry, but your chickens aren't going to get near the benefit. When it's dry like this, they're probably going to poop out a lot of the whole seeds and stuff. So you really want to, at a minimum at least, soak it so it's easier for them to grind it up. But if you really want to stretch your dollar, I'd suggest sprouting it. Like I said, this can, if I was to feed it just this as dry, it'd probably last a month or so, whereas when I'm sprouting it for them, it lasts for, I swear when I was going through it, it was like 6 months that this lasted for. So it really stretches your dollar, and it's, you know, more beneficial health-wise for your birds and rabbits, if you're doing rabbits, to sprout it for them, either as sprouts or with the rabbits I go as far as fodder. I can show you that in a second here. I got the chickens screaming at me right now to be fed. But I just do the main mixture with the seeds and such, and when it comes time, I sprout this for 4 days for the chickens, and then it's more like six or 7 for the rabbits to get it to grow into fodder. But then I also do some kelp for them, where I mix in, you know, I've got 5-6 birds, and I'll do about a tablespoon or 2 of kelp for them, and then the rabbits here and there I just sprinkle it on the top of the fodder and then break it up for them. But I get most of my ingredients for this from Azure Standard. If you haven't heard of it, they're an organic farm in Oregon. You can get the bulk seeds and mixtures for, you know, pretty good deal. But you can just order straight from them. It's going to cost you a lot in shipping if you do that, but your other option is to find out what the nearest drop-off is in your area, and once a month they do a drop where you meet the truck at a specific day and time, and the shipping is so much lower. You know, it's like $10 versus $70 or $80 if it was shipped right to your house. We really like them. They're very professional and organized. COVID kind of screwed them up a little bit with their organization, but they've seemed to be back on track. So I highly recommend those guys. I think I pretty much buy all of my ingredients from them except the black oil sunflower seeds, and for those I just go to the feeds, just the local farm store. And this is the meals that are ready to go for the chickens and the rabbits. I got behind on, we had some family visiting, and so I got behind on actually sprouting this. So this has only been sprouting for, I think, 2 days. I've got the kelp mixed in there before feeding it to them. They're harassing me right now for it. But I feed this to 5 chickens. I'd say a mason jar, if it's all you're feeding your chickens, is good for like 2 to 3 birds for a full day's meal. But my chickens, they do free range. I feed them their breakfast first, kind of wait for them to lay their eggs, and then they're out for the rest of the afternoon working in the fields. And then the rabbits, I have 6 rabbits total, so 4 does, 2 bucks, and I just split this about 6 ways for them. If there's babies, then, you know, I'll serve out a little bit more for those guys. This was grown from that. With the rabbits, you know, this is a good mat right here where it's lots of roots held together. Temperature can affect how well this does. If it gets too hot, this doesn't grow as well, and this will actually fall apart. And then I don't really, I'll feed it maybe more to like the baby rabbits or the chickens, or, you know, I'll rip their piece out, put it upside down, smack out the extra seed, because they don't need extra fat, which is what the seed is if it doesn't sprout. So I try to get it like this. They love it. They are generally at the door waiting for it when I come to bring it to them. It helps cut on feed costs. I'll feed less pellet and more this for the rabbits. When we have baby rabbits, I would like to do more for the baby rabbits, but also when we have the baby rabbits, our fields are growing nice and green, so I'll actually just take 10 minutes, go out in the meadow, and cut a bunch of the tall meadow grass for the baby rabbits, and they love it just the same. There you go, guys. Yep, hi. A lot of times they'll leave the peas behind. That seems to be their least favorite of the bunch, but that's also their protein. Now, is this a full, complete diet for the birds? I'd say on the safe side, no. Just like, you know, a salad is healthy for us, it doesn't provide us everything we need. So I also do give these guys mealworms. I used to raise mealworms when we were in a bigger house. It's the cleanest and easiest of the protein options. You can do soldier fly larvae, you can do crickets. Mealworms were just the least stinky option and were pretty clean. I did a blog post on it, I'll link that below. So the seed mix is a good start for your birds. It's got a lot of healthy qualities to it and provides a lot of vitamins and minerals. In addition to that, like I said, I like to offer the mealworms, particularly in winter when there's no bugs for them to free range for. But then outside of that, free ranging gives them the opportunity to get whatever else they need. They'll graze on the grass, go look for bugs. That kind of completes what they need to be nice, healthy chickens. I just recently, the other day, compared one of our eggs to a store-bought egg, and our eggs were just so much more orange and have that deep orange color to them, which tells me that they're getting what they need. I know you got to be careful with some of the store-bought eggs because they actually will artificially put in some colorings that give you orange eggs. But we don't do that here, so they are just naturally a nice rich golden orange. So our chickies here, I've only just started introducing the sprouted feed to them. I did have them, they're on an organic crumble right now just from the feed store because I figure that's just easier for them to digest. About 2 weeks old, 3 weeks old, I start introducing it and making sure there's grit so that they can grind it up themselves. I guess I should mention with the chickens I do keep a bag of feed on hand just in case, you know, they're a little bit hungrier one day over another and I've given them their sprouts for the day. I can just toss them a little half cup, some crumble just to keep them over till the next day. And I think that is about it. If I missed anything or you have any questions, I can answer those for you. I'll have the links for how to raise mealworms or how to make this mix down in the description below. I'll also link up Azure standards if you're interested in those guys. That is it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.